Mr. O'Leary, what do you say to a business owner like that?
Well, I have many business owners like that in our own portfolio of companies that manufacture in China and ship on the water back to the U.S. And I tell them the same thing. This is a negotiation. It's going to happen relatively quickly.
I mean, it's not a negotiation for Dr. Ben Fredericks, is it?
What happens when a political talking point meets real-world consequences, and suddenly the defense starts falling apart under pressure? In this heated exchange, Kevin O'Leary, a vocal supporter of Donald Trump, is put on the spot over tariffs that are hitting small American businesses where it hurts most. The conversation quickly shifts from abstract policy to a very real example. A business owner staring down a massive cost increase from $300,000 to over $700,000 just to get his products into the country. That's not a minor inconvenience. That's the kind of hit that can shut a company down overnight. But instead of addressing that urgency directly, O'Leary leans into a familiar defense, calling it a negotiation, something temporary, something that will work itself out. The problem? For businesses like this, there is no wait and see. Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
One of the stars of the US version of Dragon's Den. Mr. O'Leary, I've got another clip to play for you. It's from a US-based small business owner called Dr. Ben Frederick, and he has co-founded Dr. Frederick's Original, which is a health and personal care brand, in 2015. He employs 25 people. He relies on imports from China, and he told us that his business is at risk of collapse if President Trump continues with these massive tariffs on China.
Well, the most recent order we had out of a factory in China was supposed to be $300,000 all in, and by the time it lands here in the U.S., it's going to be maybe over $700,000, and we just don't know what the bill is ultimately going to end up being, and it's really a death blow to our company. It could put us out of business immediately. We don't have the cash, and it's a death blow for thousands and thousands of other U.S. companies that rely on importing.
Mr. O'Leary, what do you say to a business owner like that?
Well, I have many business owners like that in our own portfolio of companies that manufacture in China and ship on the water back to the U.S. And I tell them the same thing. This is a negotiation. It's going to happen relatively quickly.
I mean, it's not a negotiation for Dr. Ben Fredericks, is it? He's just said when his products arrive, he's going to have to pay $700,000 in tariffs. His business is going to go under.
You don't know that yet. His products haven't arrived, and these policies change, if you haven't noticed, and you have because you're reporting on it, by the hour. And so I anticipate further ranking of these tariffs against each other, and maybe they'll get put up 100% more tomorrow, but it's just part of a negotiation. This goes back to this unusual way. Normally, in past decades, these trade disparities and tiffs are done behind closed doors in shuttle diplomacy, usually meeting in Geneva or one of the other capitals. Not this time. This is being done on social media, and it makes a lot of people, including this CEO, which has a very good reason to gnash his teeth, they don't like watching this happen because it's volatile, very, very volatile.
It's not just that it doesn't
end in a good place.
Well, you don't know that either. Nobody knows where this will end. It's not that he doesn't like watching the volatility play out on social media. He employs 25 people. It's their livelihoods. It's his livelihood. President Trump promised gain from day one if he won that election. And that's not what's playing out right now.
Well, he didn't promise, protecting people against volatility. And you asked me what I would say to the CEO. It's the same thing I'm telling all my CEOs who have just as much anxiety. Let's take it day by day. Let's see what happens here. But it's been 20 years since this narrative has been dealt with in China. And other administrations have tried to rein China in and force them to be compliant. This particular administration, it's not just Trump. The tone of this administration and the cabinet, they're ready to take on China and force them to be compliant, not just on tariffs, but on all kinds of other punitive regulations should they not come on board to the rules that have been put in place by not just the United States, the WTO, the World Trade Organization.
Okay.
China's ignored that. This is also being dealt with. And so, you know, I'm sorry for the volatility. I'm not making any apologies for anybody, but this is causing a lot of turmoil in domestic markets here in the U.S.
Sure.
And it's going to continue on until it's resolved.
Okay. Mohammed El Arian, final word to you.
As the questioning intensifies, the cracks in the argument become harder to ignore. The host doesn't let up, and for good reason. This isn't theoretical economics. It's 25 employees potentially losing their jobs. But O'Leary doubles down, insisting that nothing is certain yet, that tariffs could change at any moment, and that this volatility is simply part of a broader strategy. And that's where the frustration really starts to show. Because while he frames it as long overdue action against China, the immediate reality is chaos, unpredictable costs, unstable markets, and business owners left in limbo. The usual behind-the-scenes diplomacy has been replaced with a very public, very unpredictable approach. And not everyone can afford to wait and see. What makes this moment powerful is the contrast. On one side, a confident defense of long-term geopolitical strategy. On the other, the very real, very immediate threat to everyday Americans trying to keep their businesses alive. And when pressed on that contradiction, O'Leary doesn't resolve it. He sidesteps it. That's when the frustration stops being subtle and starts becoming the story itself. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear where you stand on this. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.